Hi, I'm Marissa, and I lost my little brother, Daniel, to suicide. When I first heard of What Would You Miss, my first thought was kind of jumbled because I had so many things that came at me at once. I was on the phone with my friend Anne-Marie, and when she posed the question, so many things came to mind because there really are so many things that I miss about him. So it was dancing with him at weddings, finding Polaroids of him all over the place because back then you had the Polaroid camera with about, I think, 10 or 12 shots in each little thing that you would put in the camera. And I would just find stacks of pictures of him, and I really miss that. I miss just hanging out with him on the couch in the family room because we were the only ones that really spoke to each other about things, so I miss that. I miss driving with him in the car. I miss hanging out with him at the beach. The list goes on and on. So that's what it was. It was just in my head, like so many things just came rushing to me that I missed about him. I think this project affects somebody that's struggling right now just because hearing the phrase, "What would you miss?" just makes you think about the little things that you might not be thinking about that might make you click with something that will take you out of the mindset or the darkness that might be occurring at the time. It also might make you open up a conversation with somebody else and say, "Hey, what would you miss about me?" And then they will list off like a million things like I just did, or even 1, 2 things that's just going to connect with them and go, "Wow, I didn't think that I mattered, or I meant something to somebody, or I was worth anything." And all of a sudden that might be something that just stops the cycle that's going on in their brain and make something better replace it, or just even for a moment that it does, so we can keep them here. So I just hear the phrase and it just makes me think, just keeping people here, just making you think, just getting you out of that cycle. So anything that can do that, I'm all for. Well, to start with, I would miss seeing my sons smile, hearing them laugh, seeing them run, just my conversations with them in the car. Again, I can go on forever about what I would miss with my boys. What I would also miss is hanging out with my dog. I would miss teaching. I would miss the little connections that I have with my students. I love my job. I'm very lucky. I love anything to do with nature. I would miss so many things that I see every day that I just think is beautiful. So I'm very thankful that I have this list of things that I'm able to turn to for what I would miss. What other people would miss about me, I think my husband always tells me that my smile helps him, and my laugh. So he would miss my smile. He would miss my laugh. My boys, I think the list, again, would be very long. So thankfully, they seem to really love spending time with me, being in the car, those conversations that don't happen anywhere else. But in the car, I believe that a lot of different things with my boys. And I think they really enjoy sharing the connection with cross country with me. So again, this little phrase is just little only in how small the words are. What would you miss? It's not little otherwise because it's just so big, in my opinion. It's just like an explosion of all these different things because I can go on and on about what I would miss, and I think my boys could too. So it's a little phrase that just makes a big difference. All right, so Dan, if I could see you again, I wish I could so I could tell you. God, I don't know if I can do this. It's been a long time, but I miss seeing you walk down the street. And it didn't matter how hot it was. You had to wear jeans and a shirt that was long just because you look cooler like that. I miss seeing you walk out of your Porsche. It was such a piece of junk, but you loved that Porsche. And I miss driving with you in the Porsche and just laughing about how much of a piece of crap the car was, but it was just your love. I miss finding pictures of you, the Polaroids. I still miss that. Just walking in my room because for some reason I guess the lighting was better in there, so you thought it would be funny to do a million pictures in there. So coming home and from practice and going up to my room and finding pictures of you, I miss that. I miss your smile, your quirky little smile. I miss your laugh. I miss hearing you sing the national anthem at holiday gatherings. I don't know why you thought that was the way to go, but that's what you wanted to do. And it was just awesome because you were just belted out. I miss that. I miss so much about you. I miss just walking into the kitchen or anywhere and finding a piece of paper and having your doodles all over it because you would just sit there and just draw. And I'm sorry, buddy, but they were terrible pictures of Fred Flintstone. And then you would just draw these pictures of Fred Flintstone all over the place. And then you would sign your name everywhere. And on my own cards from you, you would sign your whole signature, Daniel M. Formas. Or if you printed it, it would just be Daniel Formas. And if it was printed, it always had Dan in capital letters, and then the rest was lowercase. And then if you signed it, it had to have the M in there. And I miss just calling your name and having you respond. So I just miss you. If you are in crisis, text 741-741. If you are struggling with suicidal thoughts, please get a safety plan. Have the conversation with someone you love. Please ask them, what would you miss? Just have that connection. Please talk to them. Don't be afraid to talk about things and just ask them.